Spoiler warning. The following is an in-depth story analysis. If you haven't seen this arc, you may want to before watching this review. Hey guys, this is Mark and welcome back to my Yu-Gi-Oh! Review series. Today I'm going to try to at least get to the final duel in Noah's saga, although I don't know how long it will take to get to that point. We'll see. We pick up with Tristan, Duke, and Serenity. They're all confronted by a robot who is later revealed to be a member of the Big Five, Nesbit. After arguing over who should duel him, Nesbit decides to take all three of them on at once, explaining that the Big Five will get 3 bodies out of the duel if they win. The battle is then escalated through the reveal of a pit of radioactive waste directly underneath the field. What is it with villains and resorting to radioactive substances in these things? Nesbit then drops the bombshell, stating that none of them are allowed to discuss their strategies. Forgive me if I go on a rant for a minute. First of all, none of them have ever dueled before! It's like expecting a kid to ride a bike without the training wheels or without any prior usage of a bike. This just further pounds on the fact that these guys just don't know what they're doing, and it's completely unfair. At least teach the 3 of them how to play the game at least. And needless to say, they are completely wiped out. Tristan is taken out first, and he is enveloped by the radioactive substance. Duke, however, turns the field into a dice field, and they gain a slight advantage. But the tables are quickly turned. The others find their way to where Duke and Serenity are. Joey manages to talk some sense into her, since Serenity has been frozen this entire time. They win, but Nesbit says that he still wants Tristan's body. It makes me tilt my head as to how he takes control of the body, since, considering, well, he lost. Oh, when Tristan's mind gets transferred into a robot monkey, somehow it's not really explained. Nesbit, in Tristan's body, attempts to assassinate Seto through the almighty power of a stick. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Eventually, Yugi and the others make their way to Seto and Mokuba, and they find out the truth. With Seto almost down for the count, the robot monkey tackles Desmit, attacking his head and obscuring his vision. And Mokuba is kidnapped again. Seriously, this is like, what, the 4th time now that Mokuba's been taken by a villain? Someone needs to introduce that kid to the wonderful power of a GPS tracking system. I think it'll do wonders for him. That or get a leash for him. Seto goes after Nesbit, showing that he's grown a little in the character department. Although he's stopped by yet another member of the Big Five, this time being Lecter. Mokuba is taken by Noah. Man, Mokuba is just having the worst day ever. Seto attempts to wipe out Lecter using the Crush Card virus, but Lecter nullifies her, revealing his Deckmaster in the form of Genzo. Lecter states that Seto took Kaiba Corp away from him, as he was the next in line to run the company after Gozaburo. In a flashback, it's revealed that Gozaburo gave Seto a total of $10 million, and that he had to return 10 times the money, which equals to around $100 million, within a year. First off, why would you give a child this much money? Much less make them sign a legal document stating that he'll pay you back 10 times as much within a single year. Seto states that Lecter never had a good idea, and that he couldn't have run Kaiba Corp anyway. Lecter then fires a rocket into space. I was unaware that a virtual world could have a fully rendered outer space section. But, okay. And the rocket, or rather the rocket's laser cannon, targets Seto and prepares to fire. Noah and Lecter play on Seto's emotions by claiming that Seto uses everybody, including Mokuba. Lecter says that someone was leaking what Seto and the Big Five were doing. They had basically teamed up to rule the company together, to Gozaburo, and that person had been Mokuba. Mokuba later describes this day as the worst day of his life. Seto then gained control of the company thanks to Mokuba, sending Gozaburo packing and cementing the fact that Seto and Mokuba are a team, although it's still left ambiguous as to whether or not Seto actually used Mokuba. Seto defeats Lecter with the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Mokuba, however, is turned against Seto through mind control and manipulation by Noah. Seto is taken by Noah and finds out that Mokuba was turned against him. Noah shows Seto an image of him and Gozaburo discussing the acquisition of Seto. Noah is, in fact, Gozaburo Kaiba's biological son, and theoretically he is also Seto's stepbrother. He actually explains this here, have a listen.
Not quite what you were expecting, is it, Seto? You and I being stepbrothers. But it's all true. I am Gozaburo's one true son, and I was always supposed to inherit his empire. You were nothing but another one of my father's servants, brought in to motivate me.
Before they can continue, however, Noah goes off to deal with the Big Five's bickering over who they should take on first, as they have cornered Joey and the others. The Big Five all take control of Tristan's body at once, and they duel against Yugi and Joey in a bid for the rest of their bodies. After a while, the duel starts taking its toll on both Yugi and Joey, but they eventually win the day, although it takes a really long while for them to do so. Seto, meanwhile, has gone after Noah to find Mokuba, and Noah explains his backstory. Noah then challenges Seto to a duel, and after a few turns, Noah summons his deck master, a giant boat. Man, they really were trying to rip off Noah's Ark from the Bible, weren't they? It even has the same ability of taking monsters into itself to increase its strength, although Noah's Ark kept all the animals from dying, although it's basically the same concept. Noah explains a little bit more of his backstory to us. And Noah proves that he is an animal abuser, even if they're virtual. Noah then makes what has to be one of the most terrifying faces I have ever seen. It will haunt me in my nightmares, kill me in said nightmares, and then haunt me again in heaven. Here it is.
Please spare us, Noah, please.
It was his fault.
After that, Mokuba intervenes, and Noah gives Seto an ultimatum. Either he can forfeit the duel and step down as the president of Kaiba Corp, or he can follow through with his attack, but risk losing Mokuba in the process. Through a combination of Seto and Yugi, they start to break Noah's control over Mokuba. Seto reveals the following.
By making that card for me, you encouraged me not to give up. You gave me something to strive for. I swore that day to become a person worthy of possessing a real Blue Eyes.
I remember making that card. I knew how much Seto wanted that card, and I thought if I drew one for him, he'd always remember his dream of owning a real one someday.
But Noah reveals his real deck master after Seto destroys his Ark, and in doing so turns the Kaiba Bros to stone mere inches away from each other. This part always teared me up as a kid. We get all this great character growth and development for the both of them, and we finally see them reunite after being separated for so long, only for them to be turned to stone after everything they went through. It's really tragic if you think about it. Yugi volunteers to take Seto's place. They begin to duel, and Noah eventually starts turning Yugi's friends to stone one by one. In fact, when Serenity is turned to stone, you can really hear the despair in Joey's voice at that moment. Yami, however, gets a confidence boost through the help of his friends and eventually defeats Noah. Noah, though, reveals the truth.
In my world, everything here's virtual. That means all of you, too.
I don't get it.
I do. We're not just trapped in a virtual world, we're all a part of it too.
Exactly. Your real bodies are strapped into cyberpods that are hardwired to my virtual simulator. So everything you've experienced here has only happened in your mind.
Okay, this is officially another kidnapping. I mean, seriously, is the militia never around? What do they do when a monster attacks? Like what we'll see in a very close future storyline. Gozaburo shows up, revealing his own backstory. He wants revenge on Seto, and honestly, it's for a pretty stupid reason. He actually adopted Seto and Mokuba in an attempt to test Noah's skills, but because Noah had that accident, basically no one could take over the company. Yeah, Gozaburo is a really bad dad if you ask me. He plans to make the whole world digital, which, like the aforementioned plot for revenge on Seto, is also a really dumb plan. Seto duels Gozaburo in a final attempt to escape, and after a long battle he eventually wins. Seto and Yugi escape back to the virtual world, along with the others. Oh, my bad. I meant the real world. Sorry. I'll try to edit that out. Okay, guys, that wraps up this video. And surprisingly, it only took me one more video to finish this arc off. I know this arc is considered filler, but it's just as interesting when you consider the continuity of the franchise. Admittedly, we'll never see Noah or Gozaburo again, but we did see some major development for Seto and Mokuba. As such, I'm giving Noah's Saga a 3 out of 5 stars. It's an interesting side story and raises questions about Seto and Mokuba that we've never explored. But the villain leaves much to be desired as far as an overall motive is concerned. But hope is on the horizon, my friends. As such, when we return, we'll be returning to Battle City and covering the semifinals. See you there!